Hey everybody,
Hi.
welcome back.
Hello again.
Yeah, I'm Justin.
And I'm Daniel.
This is a follow-up to our After the Sermon, which is a follow-up to the sermon on Sunday. So we want to continue this conversation about resting because we think it's really important and very relevant to where we are in the world. And that is to say this, that most of us have been sold this idea that our value and our worth is the result of our productivity, of what we will get applause and affirmation,
Oh, yeah.
acceptance. We will get all those things. We'll get new jobs, promotions,
Yeah.
all the things.
You might find a spouse.
If you work harder, your life will be better.
Boom.
Except you'll be exhausted, bitter, and resentful. And so,
Oh, that's a bad news, isn't it?
yes, that is the bad news. So what we want to do today is we kind of gave like a big picture, and we talked about the Enneagram on Monday. And what we want to do today is get really practical to give you some ideas on how you can best rest. We asked some of our friends that we respect that have studied some of this Enneagram stuff, that are using it in their own lives. And so we want to give you some very practical ways for you to rest. The first thing I want to say, though, is I reached out to our friend Shannon White. She's a counselor here in Concord. And one of the things that she pointed out that I thought was really, really good is that she tells her clients that their lives or their hearts are a lot like their yard, that they are the only one that can nurture and take care of their yard. And that's true. You are responsible for you and your life.
Yeah.
You're the one making these decisions. And so she said that she asked her clients to regularly check in on their yard, check in on the yard of their heart and their lives and their souls. And if they're seeing, man, the grass is dying around here.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of red ants, maybe it's time to say, I think something needs to change.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really good. So as we talk about this, we're going to talk about using the Enneagram to help inform us on how to rest.
Okay.
So each Enneagram is a part of a triad. You have 9s, 8s, and 1s that are a part of the body triad, which means that you feel things in your gut.
Yeah.
You make
when anxiety hits, the clenched gut is what happens.
You and I both know this well. That's where it starts. 2s, 3s, and 4s are emotion, are heart.
Pounding heart.
Chest,
beating
tight chest. And then, so 2, 3s, 4s, 5, 6, and 7s.
Racing mind.
Okay, so one of the things you can do even this week is to be aware of and pay attention to where does your stress and anxiety start.
Yes.
Which
some people will say, oh, it's all over.
And it's
and
true.
It is true. It goes here.
All over the way.
But normally you're going to have a primary one.
Yes, where it begins.
Yeah. That is going to lead to the other ones.
Yes.
So you do have to pay attention. Maybe it's this week you write down or you take notes on your phone the times that you were under pressure, or you had to make a decision, or you got a bad email or something. Yep. Where do you feel it first? Yep. Is it clenched gut?
Yep.
Pounding racing chest?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And racing mind.
Racing mind. Yeah. So pay attention, and what we want to do is say that if you're in one of these triads, there's probably some ways that you can rest that will be very helpful for you. But as Shannon says, you need to check your yard. Like you need to check your life, and you need to ask, what is it that I need right now? And so just because we name some of these as, oh, this is the gut triad, these are good ways for the mind triad to rest, it doesn't mean that there's not overlap. Right. So we're going to offer these, but these can be used by any of us. So one of the things that our friend Nathan Evans said, he's an overseer here at One Life. He's also a counselor. His office is here in the collective. He said, all types can benefit from a 15 to 20 minute walk without headphones. I think that's a universal practice.
Yes, because we talked in our last video about needing to unplug.
Yes. Yep.
And probably that's true that everybody's so plugged in all the time.
Yes.
And Nathan's saying, we could all benefit from how much did he say?
15 to 20
minutes. Just pull it away.
And go for a walk.
No podcasts.
Yep.
No cool music.
Yes. Yeah, it would be really good. That's universal. And a lot of these ideas, you're probably going to think, well, I'm not in that tribe. That's okay. If you resonate with one of these practices,
Give it a try.
try it on. I said that on Monday.
You did.
Try it on.
Try it on.
See how it fits.
Like a coat.
Yeah. Look in the mirror. See if you like it. And if you don't, that's okay. Set it aside and try the next one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump through these. So I asked some people body types, heart types, mind types. Let's work through the body types. So these are 9s, 8s, and 1s.
Okay.
Body types. Jess Patton said restorative yoga. You
do
practice
yoga on Fridays at the Y.
Does it help you rest?
Yes, it does.
But it's also painful.
I have really tight hips, but it's good because it's something difficult for me, and I don't have the space to think about other things or get worked up about anything.
You have to focus.
You focus, and it's using my body and using my muscles, and
Megan Barron, who's also a counselor in the collective, she said, taking your shoes off, go outside for a walk. Yeah. She said, feel the ground beneath your feet, place them firmly, and press hard into the earth.
Ooh,
she also
imagery.
said, dance.
Really?
And she said, literally.
So I need to be doing more like Disney dances.
But this is, for you, you said, I need to have more fun.
Yeah.
I need to laugh and smile.
And dancing probably can feel silly for me.
Yeah.
That probably would help 8s, 9s, and 1s to release that like inhibition of like, I might look silly.
To release the underlying anger that's always there.
Well, yeah, that's let's talk about that later.
Yeah. All right. Maria Russell, who is a counselor in the Kannapolis area, she's a part of our church. She said, get out in nature, do a puzzle. Allow yourself to be still. Being still is scary. Solitude.
Is this one of those things actually that the one you push back on is the one you should do?
Possibly. It's like the number you push back on, you're like, I cannot be an 8. You're like, well, that's probably because you're an 8, you know? So yeah, it's like, but you and I have had this conversation that what would be really good for you and I is to be quiet, to be still, but it's terrifying.
Yes.
It's just terrifying.
Yeah.
Paige Prim, part of our church, overseer, she said stretching, so yoga, but also you can just stretch. You don't have to go to a yoga class. Yeah. She said a sport of choice, which I really like that. If I'm stressed, sometimes I'll just go out in the driveway and shoot basketball.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yep. And so it just feels really, really good. Allison, your wife, she said she had an interesting add to this, and that is that if you're a body type, then rest with your mind. If you're a mind type, then rest with your heart. And so she said, I think all types would benefit from gratitude journaling. We've talked a lot about that. Yoga, solitude, intentional conversations that are not just surface level.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is learning how to be present. And maybe that's one of the good things about rest is it helps us learn how to be here, be here in this moment.
Yeah, because to rest, I have to believe that God is working around me and I'm not the only one doing all the hard work around here.
Yes.
And if that were the case, so then I don't have to race towards, well, what's next?
Yes.
Or what did I do wrong last week?
Yep.
But what's happening right here?
Right here. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's go to the heart types.
Okay.
So
these
2s, 3s, and 4s. Jess Patton, overseer of our church, said listening to a favorite album. I love that music. Going to an art museum to feel inspired and moved by something beautiful.
Wow.
So really cool. Megan Barron said connection with others. Treat yourself. Learn how to love yourself well. So go get a mani or a pedi. I've never done it, but maybe it could be good. Maria Russell said, she said, coffee with a friend. Allow somebody to serve you. She said this, a mani pedi, facial, massage.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
See, everybody's like, yeah, amen. I'm in. I got that. You can thank Maria later, okay? Paige Prim said creating art, dancing, writing a song, painting, drawing. And then, so I'm gonna share a little bit from Dawn here in a second, because she is the next one, which is the mind, which is the 5, 6, and 7s.
Okay.
And Jess said, for me as a 7, she's a 7, taking a spontaneous adventure can even be as simple as checking out a new park or a restaurant and then savoring that experience. So once again, being present.
That's important because sevens will just eat up new experiences.
Yep.
But
be present in it. Megan said silence. She said she thinks that one is a huge one. Reading for fun, not an intellectual book. Yeah. So Maria said watch a movie or read a book that's just fun. So almost like stop overthinking everything.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. Paige said puzzles. And then I thought Dawn's was great for this triad because she's a 6, and she said going outside, meditation, journaling, playing music, working in her orchard or a garden. She said TV never helps her brain be clear. I'm not sure it does for any of us.
Right.
Like binge watching Netflix never works.
Yeah.
She said going on a walk or going on a car ride down a country road. And I was texting her and I said, with your windows down. And she said, absolutely.
Yeah. This is the perfect time of year for that.
It is. It is. So there's some ideas. When you hear those, we got about 4 minutes here. What stands out to you? What resonates with you when you think about those practical ideas to rest?
What I heard a few different people say was the experience life to the full.
Yeah.
What I heard in assimilating this is that the being present is maybe that's 90% of the battle.
Yeah.
Of just like focusing yourself.
Yeah.
And slowing to the pace that you can focus on what's right there around you.
I heard disconnect. So if I'm carrying this thing around with me, I've got my emails with me, I've got my social media with me, I've got my text message with me, I'm still working if I carry this with me.
Yeah.
Disconnect, keep it simple, do things that you enjoy, and be present. Like if you can do something that fits into those, man, you're probably going to feel rested, and you're going to be in tune with how God has created you. Now, this gets me to the last thing I want us to talk about, and that is, I think a lot of times whenever we don't rest, it's because we're having an identity crisis.
Yeah.
And our identity is that we are children of God. We are the saved ones. We're the saints.
Yep.
We have been chosen by God. He said that we're enough. He said that we're valuable, right? And so when we are work, I think it's connected to an identity crisis that we're believing the lie that we are not children of God. What do you think about that?
Yeah, or even if you're numbing. We talked about this a second ago. Maybe you're the person who's like the overachiever, but maybe you're also the underachiever and you just keep backing away from more and more and more.
Yeah.
That's also, I think, connected to the idea that I've lost who Christ called me to be.
So I'm an overachiever, but I numb. So I will say, I'm going to rest. I'm going to lay in my bed, watch Netflix with some Oreos, the drink of my favorite drink, and I'm going to watch 3 episodes. That's restful. I know it's 11:30 at night, and now I've been up till 1, and the best thing I could have done was go to sleep.
Yeah.
But I'm resting. I'm not resting. I'm numbing my identity crisis, thinking I'm actually not enough, and I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to do the healthy things that help me rest. I want to numb.
Yeah. We also don't make great choices when there's an acronym, right? Mad, sad, I don't know what they are. Tired is definitely one of them.
We don't make
good choices. So at the end of the day, when we start to hear bad news come up in us that we're not enough, we go to numbing for sure.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. When you find yourself saying no to the things that you know are good for your soul, and yes to more productivity and more work, that is a flashing red light from the Holy Spirit that you need to check your yard.
Yes.
Because you are finding your identity and your worth in work and productivity, and you're saying no to the good things, whether it's like your church or your family or your kids or a group that you're in or taking a walk, and you just keep saying no to those good things that are good for your soul and yes to more and more and more and more, to more hustle, to more work, saying yes to the boss, whatever it is. That is a flashing red light that there's something happening in your identity, and you need to return to being grounded in the person of Jesus.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Well, I hope this was helpful to people. It's helpful to me.
I think it was helpful to me.
I would love to hear, if you're watching this, in the comments, what's one of the things that stood out to you?
Yeah.
What's one thing that you want to try? Put that in the comments. That'd be great. Maybe it's just accountability for us to put it in there.
What do you want to try on?
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Thanks, friends, for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.